Greetings from LA, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. And right now it is Friday, December 15th, 2023, and it's my understanding that a few hours ago, the Criterion Collection made its announcement with respect to its planned releases for March 2024. And so if you're interested in what those are, please feel free, of course, to check out the Criterion Collection website directly for information about those titles, write-ups on the films, specifications, planned special features, planned cover art, etc., as well as information about all the other wonderful titles that are now currently included in the physical media collection of the Criterion Collection. So you can check out the Criterion Collection website directly for more information. But if it's okay with you, for purposes of today and the announcement, I'd like to share with you just some preliminary thoughts and comments I have about this, with the understanding, of course, that when the item does arrive, again in March next year, then hopefully that will afford you and I, it'll afford us, you and me, it'll afford us the opportunity to explore the title and to explore the release together, as we I think have done with many a title in the past up to now. So if it's okay with you, let us do so at that time. But for now, let me share with you some initial thoughts and comments that I have, with the understanding that this might change over the course of, say, now and when the actual item is released. So without further ado, my friends, let us continue forward with what lies in store for us with regard to the March 2024 planned releases from the Criterion Collection. First up, scheduled for release on March 12th, 2024, and this is scheduled for either a single disc Blu-ray or a single disc DVD. So once again, it's nice to see that the DVD format is still being employed with a number of titles from Criterion, which is a really good thing. This is a title which is designated spine number 1210, so 1210. And this is described as being a film from the year 2022. The filmmaker is Laura Poitras, and the name of the work is All the Beauty and the Bloodshed. So Laura Poitras, I know Laura Poitras' work, very well-renowned and very famous filmmaker in the landscape of documentary filmmaking. This work, however, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, is one that I'm not aware of. It is described as being from 2022, so I'm very bad when it comes to my upkeep of watching most recent releases from, say, the past 5 years or so. So that, unfortunately for me, includes this film, so I haven't seen this film. But fortunately for me, this new release from the Criterion Collection will provide me the opportunity to visit this for the first time. And I'm going to try to avoid as much as possible, but just very quickly, my eye is glancing around the write-up here, so which is again included in the Criterion Collection website for those who are interested. But it does look very compelling, and it does look incredibly current in terms of human lives that are being affected by certain current events or topical crises that I think are part of the social, political climate of the times. So very interested indeed. And also I'm, in terms of, yes, Laura Poitras, her work is very well renowned. So I mean, very much looking forward to watching this again for the first time. This is going to be released on a Blu-ray and on a DVD. So as I mentioned, I'm very happy to see the DVD format still being employed. I think it's a very important format, and one that I hope that will be continued by Criterion as long as possible. So very happy to see this. So this is the work, again, by Laura Poitras, and it's scheduled for release March 12th, 2024, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed. Oh, I should point out one thing, which is I note that the release date is March 12th, 2024. So by my count, I think there is the first week of March. I'm not sure if anything is planned for release by Criterion during that time, or perhaps that might be a week off in terms of Criterion releases, because I think the most recent or the prior release that's listed here in terms of the upcoming releases is the February 27th release of the Roaring Twenties. So February 27th, Roaring Twenties, and then it goes to March 12th. So I wonder what might happen in the interim period. Perhaps nothing. Perhaps it might be a quiet week in terms of releases, but who knows? Let us check back with Criterion on a regular basis to see if something does come up. But in any event, my dear friends, for March 12th, 2024, the film is All the Beauty and the Bloodshed. Next, scheduled for release also on March 12th, 2024. And this is a title that is at spine number 214. So, in fact, is a title that currently exists in the Criterion Collection physical media catalog. And it currently exists in a DVD form. But I understand that we have, for purposes of this release in March 12th, we have a Blu-ray disc offering as well as a DVD disc offering, and it's also nice to see the DVD format still being made available. And again, this is for spine number 214, and this is a film which is described as being from 1941, and the name of the filmmaker is William Dieterle. And the name of the work is, and this is very important, according to the website, it is called All That Money Can Buy, aka The Devil and Daniel Webster, also known as The Devil and Daniel Webster. So that's very interesting in terms of the title. We'll get to that momentarily, but this is really great. I was just talking maybe a few live stream videos on this YouTube channel ago. I was just talking with someone over the live stream in a very lovely casual discussion about The Devil and Daniel Webster. And I think it was the context of, say, Halloween films in particular. And in fact, there is a Criterion release, this DVD of The Devil and Daniel Webster. There you go. Sorry for the sunlight reflection glare. I hope you can forgive me. But that is it's an earlier DVD release, so it has that older logo line up on the top part of the cover there. And this is known as The Devil and Daniel Webster, aka All That Money Can Buy. And this is the 106-minute version. And it looks like, according to the website, the 106-minute version is going to be the version that's relied upon. I should point out that this was a new high definition. It was described at the time as being a new high definition digital transfer, and this version, this DVD version, had on its opening titles The Devil and Daniel Webster, and in fact, on the bottom of that title screen, it actually said something along the lines of known at the time of its original initial release as All That Money Can Buy. And so that's why, in terms of this Criterion release, this earlier DVD, my assumption is that's why The Devil and Daniel Webster is the title that's given prominence. And I understand too that because this film, as some of you may know, has a very interesting release history and re-release history and interesting history in terms of its title, the titles that could have been had in terms of its marketing at the time and other films that might have occurred at the time, and the word the devil in the title, etc. So but at the end of the day, and also various lengths of release versions. And at the time of this DVD release, you had the 106-minute version, which was a kind of revelatory experience because of the release history up to that. So this was a big deal. And so the 106-minute version and all the re-release versions, I understand, had The Devil and Daniel Webster as the title. But it looks like this new Criterion release that's coming up in March, which is purported to be a new 4K digital restoration, it looks like this is going to be based upon the title All That Money Can Buy, which I understand was the title upon the initial release. So that's interesting. That's an interesting little switch there. I don't mind that in the slightest. I'm looking forward to seeing how that might show in terms of what we see in the opening title when we put in that Blu-ray. And incidentally, too, we are getting a Blu-ray of this as well as the DVD. I wonder if the DVD will be the new edition release, or will it be continuing on this older DVD? We'll have to wait and see. It is Spine number 214. So as I mentioned, it is a film that currently exists in the Criterion Collection physical media catalog. It is a splendid film. It's a film that is it's a kind of um, it's a morality play tale. It has certain sinister horror elements to it. It has a courtroom drama aesthetic to it. It's and has the score by Bernard Herrmann. Oh my goodness, it's so many wonderful beats to it, and so it'll be great to be able to revisit this film, revisit it again in the context of this new release. I've watched this film a number of times already on this older DVD release, which is a great release that has a number of wonderful supplements. And I note in passing that it looks like the the supplements appear to be focusing in on the same or mostly the same supplements. I note a few differences or potential differences. For example, it looks like on the there's something called a new restoration demonstration. So I'm not sure what that entails. I'm assuming that will be in reference to what's described here as the new 4K digital restoration for the film. All that money can buy, because after all, the older DVD wasn't, I understand, the 4K restoration. So perhaps what's referred to here as new restoration demonstration might be referring to some kind of comparative and analytical work regarding the new 4K digital restoration. So we'll have to wait and see about this. And also I see an episode of the Criterion channel featured here as what some of the supplements here, which wasn't part of the earlier DVD as well. So I haven't seen this Criterion channel supplements. I look forward to checking this out. Observations on Film Art. And also I note too that there is a supplement that is on the earlier DVD, and I can't seem to find it in this upcoming re-release supplements information, the Blu-ray special edition features information. So on the DVD it's what described in the back here: the music of the devil and Daniel Webster, presented in an interactive essay by Christopher Husted of Bernard Herrmann's estate. And so what this was on the DVD was you had a kind of one might call, and it's called interactive essay. It's like you press forward and you press back, and it has certain chapters, but it's a written text. But when you press a certain chapter, it takes you to a clip, a audio visual clip, so you can see the clip, you can hear the Bernard Herrmann music as a type of example of the Bernard Herrmann score. It's a very famous film for many reasons, one of such reasons being the great Bernard Herrmann score. So that is what's known as the interactive essay. And if I remember correctly, please correct me if I'm wrong, but if memory serves, the essay was given the title The Devil in Context. So I think it's a great essay because, as I say, Bernard Herrmann's music is really it's one of the greats of his catalog. And so I don't see any reference in the Blu-ray special edition features here to that. So we shall have to wait and see. But when I click on the DVD section of the DVD special edition features, yes, it looks like we get a list of the DVD special features, and they do change. So that's interesting. So it looks like the DVD DVD still includes this, but the Blu-ray does not. So that's an interesting change. We'll have to wait and see again if the DVD release will be quote unquote updated unquote in the same timing as the March release, or will Criterion keep this old school DVD? I really like this, by the way. So I like this artwork, by the way, but I do like the new artwork. It has a certain sinister edge to it, very creepy, and I think in keeping with that type of notion of temptation, which is a very key part of this film, All That Money Can Buy, or The Devil and Daniel Webster. So in any event, very exciting news indeed to get this again in the context of the Criterion Collection Physical Media Catalog, March 12th, 2024. And that's the film All That Money Can Buy, or aka The Devil and Daniel Webster. Next up, scheduled for release March 19th, 2024, and this is scheduled for a again, a single disc Blu-ray or a single disc DVD. So hurrah, hurrah, bravo to Criterion for continuing to make the DVD option available, at least for some of its titles. So well done, well done. And this is a new title in the context of the physical media catalog. This is for spine number 1211, and this is a film described as being from 1984. And the name of the filmmaker is Amir Naderi, and the name of the work is The Runner. Wow. The Runner is coming to the Criterion Collection physical media catalog. I haven't seen this film in such a long time, and I remember being able to watch it many years ago on I think it was a PAL VHS tape. So and I remember seeing it. I was many aspects of it. My knowledge base is was and still is very, very limited. So I know many aspects of it were aspects and details and references that I couldn't grasp at the time. Those are my own shortcomings, of course, in terms of my unlimited knowledge base. But be that as it may, it was still undeniably a very exceptional viewing experience and incredibly moving. And there are aspects of a type of a reflection of a social cultural landscape in a given context of this particular character and the performance of our main character here, this young child character, and the performance here is by Majid Niroman. This performance, electrifying and so utterly moving and utterly brilliant. And so I'm glad to see. I'm looking at the Criterion Collection website's image of the planned cover art, and I'm glad to see the name of the actor, Majid Nuriman, starring Majid Nuriman in a film by Amir Naderi, The Runner. I'm really glad to see that prominently displayed, because the performance is so electrifying. Now, I am relying on a kind of memory here, and my memory as I get older is fading. But and so when I revisit this film, courtesy of the March release of the Criterion Collection, which I'm looking forward to immensely, I'm looking forward to this immensely. I can't wait to revisit this and to try to recall past memories and feelings that I had while trying to acclimate myself to new or references that I didn't catch at the time, or perhaps still and I'm able to catch, but I'll do my best to keep up with the conversation as much as possible, hopefully too relying on what's being provided in terms of the supplements. So this is incredible. This is great. And also there's going to be a film, oh my goodness, another film by Naderi included here, according to the supplements here, called in English Waiting. It's described here as being from 1974. So this is to me, this is huge. This is absolutely huge. Naderi's work, my knowledge of Naderi's work is very limited. And even this film, my viewing of this film was many years ago, so I'm going to have to try to recall a number of details as much as I can. But when I watch the film again, hopefully that will happen. I'm sure that will happen. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm going to, yeah, I'll save my feelings, more specific feelings when we discuss the film when we explore it in March next year. But I can just say that, I mean, there are elements that are so touching and moving and heartbreaking, and details that I think have a certain edge of universal accessibility. And there are moments in the film that were very overwhelming. So wow. Oh my goodness. I'm looking forward to this immensely. This is really splendid news. Absolutely splendid news. And it also continue in terms of, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sort of stumbling in terms of my words here. I'm just overwhelmed in excitement for this release. March 19th, 2024, in either Blu-ray or DVD form. And it says new 2K digital restoration supervised by the director. So again, not knowing any of the release history of this, and again relying on my knowledge and experience of this through that, say, it was a VHS tape, yes. This, I think, in many ways has the it's shaping up to look like another potentially overwhelming viewing experience indeed. So, in any event, this is the film by Amir Naderi, and not just one, but more than one film. But here we have on display here for purposes of this release, again scheduled for March 19th, 2024. Very exciting. This is the film The Runner. Next, scheduled for release on March 26th, 2024, and this is for spine number 1212, and it's described as being a film from the year 2022, and this is the work from filmmaker Alice Diop, and the name of the work is Saint-Omer. It's Saint-Omer in two separate words. So I don't know this film. It is a film from 2022, and I'm looking at very at a glance, looking at the the write-up in the Criterion Collection website, and it looks like, yes, Saint-Omer, the location is mentioned here, but I'm also seeing a number of details with regard to the story or story structure. So from Alice Diop. First time watch for me. I haven't seen this yet, and I know very little about it. So it looks very compelling indeed. So and this will be another learning experience for me in terms of learning about the works and approach and philosophy of the filmmaker Alice Diop. And also the participants and artistic collaborations for this work, Saint-Omer. So looking forward to this very much so. And it looks like, and so I don't have that many comments to make here, unfortunately, but let us explore this together when it does arrive. I can say that it says 2K Digital Master and a Blu-ray release or a single disc DVD release. So I'm very happy to see the DVD format still alive and well, very healthily so, in the hands of Criterion. I can't stress enough just how important I think the DVD format is, especially in today's age. I mean, there's so many great formats available, but the DVD format is still very important, very key, indeed. So, and then, oh my goodness, we have, my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm just now reading just rereading the text again of the offering here in the Criterion release. This looks to be quite a potentially affecting viewing indeed. So, oh my goodness, this looks incredibly compelling indeed. This work by Alice Diop, Saint-Omer, scheduled for release March 26, 2024. Again, I have not seen this film. It would be a first-time watch for me. So if anyone has seen this, please let me know what you think, and we will go from there. But we will explore this together, you and I, my dear friends, in March. Again, scheduled for March 26, and that is Saint-Omer. Last, but certainly not least, also scheduled for release March 26, 2024, and this is for spine number 1213. And it's a work which is described as being from the year 1995, and the name of the filmmaker is Gus Van Sant. And the name of this work is To Die For. To Die For is coming to the Criterion Collection. I should point out before I continue that it says 4K plus Blu-ray edition, so the 2-disc. It looks like, according to the website, I don't see this verbiage of 4K plus Blu-ray combo or something. It just says 4K plus Blu-ray. So I'm assuming that's the combo. That's the new verbiage that Criterion is employing for its website. For the 2-disc versions that we have seen thus far from Criterion. That's fine with me. I don't mind either way in terms of their verbiage usage. But also the Blu-ray is being made available. The single disc Blu-ray is an alternative option. I don't see the DVD option being made available, but that's okay. That's okay. The film To Die For, Nicole Kidman. I saw this when it was released, and it was very startling. It was also it was a huge type of revelation in terms of Nicole Kidman and this performance and the film that was it was this incredibly a wildly placed satirical work that has a kind of twisted, perky quality to it that is very apropos and very telling, and the performances just outstanding. And Nicole Kidman, wow! I was just watching or rewatching the other day, and also just considering for purposes of video discussions here on this YouTube channel, an earlier release from this year from Criterion of a film which is called The Others from it's 2001, yes, and that stars Nicole Kidman. And in one of the supplements that's included with that film, The Others, there's an interview or an interview excerpt with Nicole Kidman, and she was talking about how there were a number of films around this time that were really important from her perspective, really important in terms of the trajectory of her career. And she mentions films like Moulin Rouge, she mentions films like The Others. She also mentions To Die For, and as I was watching it, I was thinking, oh, that would be interesting if To Die For were to come to the Criterion Collection, but it was a kind of passing thought as I then returned to the interview at hand with Nicole Kidman, as included in the Others comment in the Others supplement. Well, lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, that a month or so later, Criterion comes out with this news for To Die For. I don't know if it was planned. I don't know if it's a coincidence, but To Die For was mentioned in the discussion of The Others just a month or so back, and now here we are in December, and we're talking about To Die For, another great Nicole Kidman film. Uh, in the Criterion Collection now, and then to apply the 4K UHD format as part of this, again, continuing the library catalog of 4K UHD releases in the physical media catalog, as well as the great supporting cast. Um, Matt Dillon and the Joaquin Phoenix and others. This is really great, and it has this lurid, this playful, almost sleazy nature to it, which I think works so optimally in the hands of Gus Van Sant and company here. What a film this is! So, and to get this uh, uh, emerging in this 4K UHD format, I think is very exciting. I don't know what the physical media release history has been of this film, to be perfectly honest, because I've never owned this on disc before. So, but I have seen it, and I remember actually saw it in its initial release in the mid 90s. So it was part of that excitement and exciting atmosphere of 90s films in the United States. So this was definitely part of that conversation. And I remember there was a lot of attention, a lot of buzz, at least as far as I recall, around this film and the content and the sort of quirky quality of it, which I think works really well, centered around the great performance by Nicole Kidman. So I cannot wait to see this. Cannot wait to see this again. So To Die For is coming to the Criterion Collection, courtesy of these releases. Spine number 1213. Did I say 1212 before? I'm sorry, I meant to say 1213. My eyes are playing tricks on me. Yes, this is scheduled for 1213. And spine number 1213, again, for March 26, 2024. And it is the film To Die For. All right, so that concludes what we have as far as today's website status is in the Criterion Collection website. So we have those 5 titles, and of which most of them are relying on the Blu-ray option or the DVD option, which I think is fantastic. And then we have the other, which is a 4K UHD release in the customary combo double disc release, or the optional Blu-ray, if for those who are interested. So very exciting stuff. I'm looking forward to the 2 films in this group that I haven't seen before, those being Saint-Omer and All the Beauty and the Bloodshed. As I mentioned, I know very little about these works. I think they came up around the same year, so when they arrive, it'll be another learning experience for me. Yes, in terms of my own cinema journey. So looking forward to those very much. And a revisiting, a re-release of a film that already exists It exists in this old school DVD, but it's a great DVD. And I'm speaking, of course, of All That Money Can Buy, aka The Devil and Daniel Webster. It'll be interesting to see how the title, I'm looking forward to seeing, among other things, revisiting the film in what's purported to be that restoration, plus how the title card will look if there's any change at all. So again, I'm curious as to why the title has been switched. Again, maybe it's to try to remind everyone of the initial release history title, the title of the film. But I don't mind either way. It's just a point of curiosity. One of many points that I'm looking forward to revisiting when that film comes out in March. And then The Runner. I am still quite stunned by this news. I was, it was a film that was very moving when I watched it, but I haven't seen it since. So it's going to be bringing back, I think, a whole flood of memories, as well as just a re-examination, plus a type of reawakening, because I think in a lot of ways it'll be a fresh new experience for me, having not seen it for many, many years, but still recalling a lot of its power and beauty. So The Runner, I'm very excited about this. And then, of course, yes, the wonderful, almost darkly, uh, darkly witty and almost brutal satire, which is To Die For. And more. This is another work from Nicole Kidman, or starring Nicole Kidman and Gus Van Sant, of course. This is a very interesting film and a great example of 90s cinema, which was again part of my own sort of teenage years growing up. So I have a lot of fond memories of watching this film as well during its initial release, and so to have this here on the Criterion Collection is very exciting news. So all in all, I'm very thrilled with this set of releases, as I usually am with Criterion. And I just want to point out once again that the DVD format still is very alive and well in the hands of Criterion, so I'm very happy to see that. I did note that there was that week, the first week in March, I think. I don't know what that is. I always forget what the Criterion release history is like, when they have certain weeks off or something like that. That could be it, or maybe there might be something in store, or maybe nothing at all. Who knows? It just could be a coincidence. But in any event, that's an interesting detail. We should always keep in. Let's check back to with Criterion's website every now and again, see if something might emerge in that week. But if not, that's fine. I should point out too that there might be some further Janus Contemporaries releases, who knows, so those might be coming up as well. I don't see, I think there was a title that had emerged somewhat earlier, but that might be something to keep in mind in terms of the March releases, but if not, that's okay. And maybe box sets. We did get some great news about box sets or collector sets from previous Criterion release announcements, so we are going to get some collector sets beginning in January, so that's also going to be very interesting news. I should point out, as I noticed, for instance, for The Runner, there's going to be another film included there as well. So I always like these releases that have more than one film. You're getting two or more films for the price of one, in a manner of speaking. So I always like that kind of release. I'm very excited about that. So all in all, I'm very, very thrilled. I'm very excited indeed, and it's going to be a further continuation of my own cinema journey, as I've always looked to Criterion to help me along with. So looks like March 2024 is no exception to that. So I'm very excited indeed. But my dear friends, how do you feel? Are you excited? Are you not so excited? Are you somewhere in between? How do you feel about this and other Criterion news of late? If you're interested, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. As always, I'm very happy to hear what it is you have to say. All right, my dear friends, so that's it for now. So now it's Friday where I'm making this video. So if you're catching this on the Friday, or you're just about to start your weekend, In any event, my dear friends, I hope you have a great rest of your day. If the weekend is ahead of you as you watch this, I hope you have a great weekend. And I hope that you continue to watch a lot of great movies, including films in the Criterion Collection and beyond. So until the next video, my dear friends, stay strong, stay safe, and cheers.